guys, and welcome to my channel. I'm Kristen, and today I'm doing a furniture thrift makeover. I am super excited about this piece. I have had this for, I want to say like 2 years now. So I'm really excited to get going and making this project over. So let's get into it. All right, you guys, this is the piece I'm going to be working on today. I found this at a yard sale. I think it had to have been at least 2 years ago. It was $5, which I love buying any furniture pieces for $5 and under because I know it can be a solid piece once it's all done. I mean, it had its dings and nicks, and somebody did paint the top of this, which I honestly didn't even realize that until I started sanding. So the first thing I did was sand. I didn't sand this all the way down because I was just going to paint over it, but just kind of roughening it up a little bit, getting the gloss off. I'm using a 120 grit sandpaper here with this Bosch sander. I love this sander. Normally I just seriously go for the 80 grit. I know you're not supposed to use it, but honestly, if I'm really just trying to get sanding done, I don't love it, but I would prefer this over stripping any day of the week. So I am just working on this, and yes, I had fuzzy slippers on with my gross slides or sandals or whatever you like to call them. It's cold, so I don't want to not have socks on, but I also don't like wearing boots if I'm just going outside to sand and do things like this. I also found a little card in here. I love finding things like this when I buy items. So I pulled out the little drawer. Kenny, happy birthday. I hope they stay friends forever, just like the little card said. It was super cute. It was super fun to find. So yeah, so after that, I just started sanding a little bit more. I did end up taking the little knob off the drawer, but I put it right back. And when I started sanding the drawer top, it did chip a little bit, but I think it's fine. So I'm using this Dixie Belle. It's called Midnight Sky. I love Dixie Belle paint. I think it's such a good paint. It's a mineral chalk paint, and I did not prime this piece because normally you don't need to. I don't know how many times I'm going to say normally in one sentence, but normally, you should prime if you're using any sort of wood piece so this color does not bleed through. But since I'm using a black or like a really dark gray, I think it's actually black, I didn't need to. I'm using a roller. When you use mineral chalk paint, you should water it down or have a spray bottle on hand, maybe even a chalk paintbrush. I don't have all the tools that is necessary, but you know what? This turned out amazing in the end. You're going to see. So some of my techniques may not be the professional way, and I never said I was a professional. Not a professional by any means at all. But I think if you do spray it down with a spray bottle, a little bit goes a longer way. I only used half of this jar. Should we call it a jar? Let's call it a jar. And I'm just using a really inexpensive roller from Walmart. I actually did order chalk paintbrushes because I've been wanting some forever. They're a little bit pricey. I ordered them off Amazon, and guess what? My package was lost and I've never received them. I'm waiting for a refund. I feel like this is happening so much on Amazon lately. It's crazy. I just wanted some good paintbrushes because I knew this was the next piece I wanted to do, and didn't get any paintbrushes. So I'm just using a good old Walmart paintbrush. And right here, you're going to see where I mess up in just a little bit. And I'm not saying mess up. There's just probably different ways you should probably paint things. So honestly, I probably should have flipped this upside down and painted the bottom first. I did paint the entire thing 100%, the front, the back, the underneath everything, because I do plan on selling this piece once it is completely finished. I think this turned out so great. I think one thing right here, you're going to see that I ended up getting it all over my arm because I'm trying to paint the back side of this, and I rolled the bottom where I'm painting. So, trim it out, I would say, first, and then roll everything from like top to bottom like you would with regular walls. I don't know what I was thinking. I got really carried away, a little ahead of myself, and I feel like I do that when I see like larger areas to paint. I'm like, yes, let's get those done first. And yes, that is a bald spot on the top of my head. I don't know. It's always been there. It must be the way I part my hair. Maybe I should do it differently. That is why you don't paint the bottom first before you paint the back. Tip number 1. Back to painting here. Like I said, paint the back side or the bottom side, whatever works for you. But right now I'm just kind of trimming it out, and I had to make sure that my head was not in the way. Luckily, I pulled my sleeves up. I always roll my sleeves up. So that is just like such a weird habit I have. Anytime I wear long sleeve shirts, I have to wear a long sleeve. But I like when the sleeves are pulled up. It doesn't make any kind of sense at all, but thankfully I did, because it's one of my favorite shirts. It was from Walmart, and I'm just obsessed with wearing camouflage anything. So back to painting. I'm just painting all around the edges with my really amazing paintbrush. Actually, these are really good paintbrushes. The handles are super long. They're from Walmart. I think they're like $8 for a huge pack of them. And although the handles are long, I don't know why the handles are long. They're still really great brushes. Then once everything, all the nicks and nooks, the nooks, the crannies, all of it was painted, I did end up doing the other side along with the back side. I did not show that because I was debating on it. Once that was done, I flipped it upside down, and there was one stink bug and one spider under this. Normally I clean the bottoms, I promise you, but they snuck in. I did get them out. Paper towel, no big deal. This right here was broken, so I decided just to rip all this off. It really didn't need to be on there, and it was really easy. It was already peeling off, and all I did was pull. I did bring a razor blade out just in case I needed that, which I don't think I used it once. I think I tried to use it once and it wasn't working, so I figured, you know what, we'll just hopefully not get slivers. No slivers, did not get any, but yeah, so this is what I did before I started painting the bottom side. And you guys, I want to just talk about real quick how easy it is to start your first thrift makeover or your first little piece of furniture. So this is just some sort of, I want to say it's like a bedside table. That's kind of what I've been calling it, although it seems to be just a tiny bit smaller. But this took me one afternoon to complete from beginning to end, besides the sanding. But I could have sanded it down, and then came inside and painted it, and then stained the drawer is what you're going to see in a little bit. I do end up staining the drawer, but this does not take no time at all, and this mineral chalk paint dries so fast. Like, I want to say it took 2 hours to paint this fully, which isn't really that much time if you think about it. And then while I was waiting for this to dry, I took the drawer outside and stained it. And it's just getting around to doing it, or wanting to, or having the motivation. Lately, I've been having a ton of motivation. So I'm using this Minwax wood finish. It is called Jacobine, and I think this is a beautiful color, and I love staining. You're going to see that it was kind of thick. I put way too much stain on there to begin with, but then once my sponge brush just kind of started drying or drying out a little bit, I just kind of wiped it away. You could wipe it away with a microfiber cloth or something like that, but you know, I knew I had time time for my little table to dry. So, you know what? I was in absolutely no hurry at all. And then once everything was dry, I'm just using this Ultra Cover Clear Coat Spray by Rust-Oleum, and I think this is $6 or $7. I don't know. Spray paint has honestly gone up a lot since the last time I bought it. And I'm just going to spray this down. I usually do 2 to 3 coats. No, I am not wearing any sort of mask. I know I will hear it. Honestly, I get claustrophobic wearing a mask. So since we don't have to wear masks anymore, I will never wear a mask for my entire life, unless I absolutely have to. Yeah, that is it. That's all I did. I sprayed this, let it dry, and brought it inside, and it only takes a couple hours to completely dry, which is amazing. I am also in my spray tent, which I love this thing so much. I'm outside. I'm using a spray tent. It is absolutely incredible. You guys, that is it for the video. I hope you enjoyed this makeover. Like I said, it only took an afternoon to do, which, come on, if you guys have a piece that you want to refinish, this is your calling. Do it now. I don't have patience. I have very little patience. The only kind of patience I have is for my children, and anything after that, I don't have any. Yes, this is not perfect by any means. There still needs a couple things to be completely finished. There is a little spot that I do need to glue and clamp it. We do not have clamps, so that is why that is not done. But if you like this video, please make sure you give it a thumbs up. And if you are new to my channel, consider sticking around and subscribing. And I will see you guys in the next video. Bye!